This video will see the comparison between list and tuple. First, we'll focus on the similarity. Both list and tuple are used to store collection of data, and these collection can be either homogeneous data type or otherwise heterogeneous data type. And both are ordered data structure. They preserve the order in which the elements are added to them. And both comes under the category of sequential data types. We can iterate over the elements of list and tuples with the help of indexing. And indexing always starts with 0. Coming to the difference between list and tuples, list is a mutable data structure. We can perform operations like insertion, deletion, and then modification, whereas tuple is a immutable data structure. Once it is created, we cannot do any modification to that. Now we have seen that the operations of list and tuple are more or less same. Then why we need an additional data structure called tuple? Because when we see the advantages of tuples over list, they consume less memory when compared to the list of same size, and also tuples are faster when compared to list. Now let's see a small snippet to understand this. I'm going to see how much memory is consumed by tuple and list of the same size. For that, I'm going to use a method called getSizeOf, and this is a system specific method. When we call this method, it is going to return us the size of the object in bytes. When we want to use this method, we should import the package sys. So first I'm going to import sys. After that, I'm going to create a list1, which contains numbers from 0 to 49. That is, I'm going to create 50 numbers. Using list comprehension, I'm going to generate range of numbers from 0 to 49. So the syntax is within square bracket, I'm going to write for I in range 50. And I'm going to simply generate I and store it in the list 1. So here expression is I, that is stored in list 1. I'm going to now print list 1 and then size of list 1. So for printing, simply I'm calling print list 1. For size of, we need to call with the help of sys. So sys dot get size of, we need to now pass the argument that is nothing but an object for which we want to find the size. Here it is nothing but list 1. Now I am printing both. Here we can see that the numbers from 0 to 49 are generated and stored as a list because it is inside square bracket. When we print the size, we are getting 528 as a size. It's nothing but it is in bytes. Now I'm going to convert the same list into tuple and I will print what is the size for that. So to convert the list into tuple, we are going to call tuple. This is nothing but the constructor. For this, we are going to pass the list 1, which has to be converted. And a tuple will be generated that is stored in the object called tuple1. And I am printing the tuple1. Here you can see that it is printing the numbers from 0 to 49 as a tuple. And when I get the size of the tuple1, it is now 448. If you compare list1 and tuple1, both are containing the same elements, but the size of the list is 528 bytes, whereas the size of the tuple is 448 bytes. So I have commented the print statement. We have generated here totally 50,000 integers. Now, if you compare the memory for the list, it is now 406, 496. Whereas if you consider the tuple for the same set of data, tuple is occupying less number of bytes. So we always say that tuples are going to consume less memory when compared to list. Now, the second point is tuples are faster than the list. For that, let us find out how much time is taking to generate a tuple and to generate a list. To measure the time taken to generate the tuple and then list, we have a module called timeIt. In that, we have a method called timeIt. We are going to call that. So you can call now timeIt.timeIt. For there, I want to measure the time taken to generate a list. So that we have to give us a statement. stmt is equal to, within single quote, you can give the list now. Here I have a list with 5 numbers. I need to find out how much time will be taken to generate this particular list. And a number I have given as 10,000. It's nothing but the same list will be generated 10,000 times and we can measure the time. So this is going to return the time in seconds to generate this particular object. So here this list is generated now 10,000 times and the time for that particular operation will be stored in the variable called list underscore time. And I am printing it. Here I am getting the time as 0.0019179 seconds. The same thing now I am doing with the help of a tuple. So here in statement, I am passing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which contains the same set of elements as that of the list. But here now it is passed as a tuple and number of times is specified as 10,000. Now it is generating the tuple in less time. If you consider here, it is 0.00376 seconds. So now we can easily say that list is going to consume more time when compared to the tuple. Now let us focus on the difference between list and the tuples. Lists are mutable, so they cannot be used as keys in a dictionary. So we have another data structure called dictionary. In that we have something called as key value pair. In that, key should be always immutable data type. So we cannot use list as a key in the dictionary. Whereas when we consider the tuples, since they are immutable, they can be used as keys in the dictionary. And lists are time consuming and tuple is consuming less time when compared to the list. List consume more memory. Tuples consume less memory than the list. Now, when to use tuples over list? So whenever you want to generate a particular data structure, which should not be changed, then we have to use tuples over list. We will say that when we want to generate write protected data, then we can go for tuples over list. And when you want to generate some data in which you are frequently going to perform operations like addition, then deletion, then it is advisable to go only for list.